Assalamu alaikum, I'm Mahdi Hassan. I'm the co-founder and CTO of Adama Robotics. We are a UK-based education technology startup who is empowering the future generation with STEM education and skill sets. We are offering 5% equity of our company for Taka 50 lakhs. There is a huge lack of STEM professionals in the industry due to not being properly trained and going through a curriculum which has been designed decades ago. Still, the textbook methods students memorize and go to exams and just give it. So at Adama Robotics, we came up with educational products which meet those needs. Firstly, we have our online courses, then we have our Bell educational robot, then we have a visual programming software, Adama Script, which makes programming as easy as connecting blocks. And then we have our Adama Code Club, which is an after-school code club. Students can learn and interact with our robot and programming at the same time in schools, after the schools. So we have about 15,000 students enrolled in our online courses from over 138 countries, which we sell through different online platforms. And we have sold about 50 units of Bell, which we have created a couple of months ago. And we're in talks with a Maker Lab organization to sell another 200. And then we are partnering with 4 schools to create curriculum for our code club. And the last one is we are launching a Adama Code Club, which is going to be an after-school code club where students can learn programming and robotics with our kids, and it will take place after the school. So if you'd like to be a part of our venture and help us create an impact, please join us.
Like to see a robot.
Thank you. Just give us a demo.
Let's take a look.
You're carrying a demo?
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
This is our Bell robot, and this is the app where you can control with this joystick. You can make it move. So children can play football tournament with this and have fun. It has got different sensors, and it can make different noises. And you can also use the gyro sensor, like you know how you play games. So use this sensor, and you can move it like this.
Oh, cool. Did a child make this?
No. Okay. We made this designed for a child.
But this is designed for a child, right?
This is designed for a child.
Is this for playing purposes or education?
Educational purposes. We have our visual programming software that they can go through the curriculum doing different lessons. For example, when you use a block programming language, you instruct the robot to go forward and do different lessons. And they get a point based on that, and we try to retain their attention. Because children's attention is very short, right? They don't like to do things which is very boring.
Believe me, adults too. Can I try it?
Yes, sure. So this is our app.
Okay, so this is move around.
Move around, joystick.
Where's forward?
So how much does this cost?
So it costs about Taka 7,000 per unit.
That's a lot of money for a little bit of round robot.
You're learning a lot of things, which you're paying in institutions.
It's a toy?
It's a lesson. It's a lesson.
It's a lesson.
So that's for light.
This is the joystick.
This
and you can change the lights
Yeah, so
too.
what is
That's
this?
cool.
Is the lights?
That's
right?
for changing the color here.
Ah,
Multiple colors.
yes, I see that. That's pretty cool.
How many have you sold so far?
So
sorry,
we've sold about
sorry.
50 units.
You can tell I'm not very good at this.
How many do you intend to sell this year?
So we want to sell about 500 units by the end of this year. So we're partnering with different schools. And another thing is we're
All of them in Bangladesh?
in Bangladesh and in UK as well.
How does one get this?
So we're planning to talk with Ministry of Education, and we're building curriculum so that we can teach them in ICT. There's this subject, ICT education. So you want to put little by little, and they get exposed more to this STEM education.
So this is super needed generally, I think, robotics, technology, science, obviously, and coding, right? Okay, STEM, but as well as coding and all of that. Now, you mentioned that you have your own script writing software.
So I have a question about your monetizing strategy, right? You've said what the price of this is, about 7,000. You've sold 200, you want to sell 7?
No, we have sold 50 units.
50, and you want to sell?
500 by the end of this year.
Right, so that's really not a lot of volume, right? How do you make money?
So right now we have money from our online courses, which we sell at $10 to $15 unit, and we provide workshops for which...
When you say $10 to $15, is that for the Bangladesh market or UK? You are operating in both?
That's the worldwide market. So we have created 4 courses where we have 15,000 students enrolled. We sometimes provide discounts to get them into the course, and mostly it comes to $10, $15.
And just a little bit for my understanding, the course is complementing the curriculum of Bangladesh education?
Course is separate. Those are STEM courses, like we have courses on robotics, programming, Android application.
Very different from academia.
Different.
So that is something that a student may want to learn. It's not required.
No, that's not required.
Right.
Yes.
So what motivates somebody to go and learn more than the pressure they have of the school work as it is?
So the courses are designed for basically university students who go into the first year, and this is designed for younger children.
So you have two target markets.
Two target markets, yes.
Okay.
So we have created the course, and the courses are in different platforms. We've uploaded it, and it's just gives us revenue in passive way.
And the fund that you will raise, you are trying to put the fund into use for which market? The school?
So for the school children.
And not for the online courses?
No, not for the online courses. Because for that, we only have investment of time for the courses that we create. But for this one, we have manufacturing cost, then we have to market it, and we have spoken to a couple of schools. Some of them didn't understand, some of them understood. So we are partnering and
Schools here.
Schools here in Bangladesh, yes. So that's why we're also introducing this Adama Code Club, where we will have a subscription model of $10, $5 to $10 per month per children.
And are these private sector students or the government schools?
So we are starting with the private sector, basically in English medium first, and once we understand how they're working, then we can go to the...
And who buys the device? Is it the school or the student?
So for now, it's the schools in Bangladesh. So we're planning to...
Student would never buy. It's always the school buying.
If they want to buy, they can buy, but it's expensive.
Yeah.
So most of the people, they said 7,000 taka is too much. So that's why we're selling it to schools. Like in a unit, say 10 to 15 units, they can use the robot to teach like one class after another class. It's like...
How many students can learn? What is the ratio for one device?
So 3 students can learn one device simultaneously. Okay. So they not only develop technical skills, they also develop soft skills. So they learn to collaborate.
You can dismantle this again. Then.
Yes, you can.
So school can reuse one every, so they don't have to buy one for
they
every
don't
3
have
students.
to keep buying it.
My question is, okay, my favorite question is like, why did you get started on this, and who is your founder? Do you have another founder who's helping you?
Yes, so I'm the co-founder and CTO. My partner, he is the founder and CEO. So he's in UK right now, and I'm operating in Bangladeshi market.
So what business are you in? Are you in business of manufacturing, selling these? Are you in the STEM education?
It's STEM education. It's
STEM education, but they need these devices to, complement the learning.
Well, I think I get where you're coming from, because if this is being done all over the world, okay, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. And the question is, are you in the business of making curriculum? Are you in the business of making robots? Are you in the business of educating people in a particular way of coding or in STEM, right? So just let me finish, because you could easily buy a package or tie up with someone already doing this and sell that here versus having all the overheads of doing it yourself.
So yes, we're in the business of curriculum and teaching here.
So is your curriculum in Bangla, is your language script in Bangla?
No, that's in English. But the instructions, everything, we have it in Bangla and English and other languages.
Okay, let me go into the pertinent question. Like, how much revenue are you earning right now, and what are you going to do with the investment?
So right now we are earning like by selling the kits. That's the direct revenue, and it's at the moment it's not too much because we've started recently. Yeah. So
how long back?
Like 5 months, the kit. But before we have the courses and workshops.
How old is your company?
So it's we have registered in 2016, but we are working like with my partner from the university when I was in like 2nd year. So we formed a society, and then we started doing workshops and worked with schools. So we're generating revenue from the workshops right now.
How much is that?
So we charge about like 500 to 700 taka per person per workshop.
So how much is that in a month? How many workshops and how much?
So for the moment, like we have about like 10-15 workshops where we can generate about 10 to 20,000 taka per workshop.
Okay, so roughly 1 lakh.
1,50,000 about that.
Who does the workshops?
Me with my teams.
How scalable is those workshops? How many can you do? I mean, scale koto kora jabe?
So right now, at the moment, I'm recruiting trainers. So I do it myself, and I have got a couple of trainers. So we go to different schools and different institutions, and we're reaching about like 10-15 max. So I need more people who I can train, and then they can go and
So the investment you're asking for is going to go into the training program, or what are the
Investment is basically for when we will be producing more robots, getting more orders, manufacturing, and then operations, and also marketing and scaling.
what kind of robots? It's going to be in price point. It will be cheaper or be more expensive. Why do you need them?
So we want to produce the robot. There is a overhead cost to produce. Once you
Where are these made?
manufacture, we make it in China. We have our partners there.
Okay, this seems, if it's for, you know, I don't know, how old are the kids that are using this?
Like which age group?
Yeah.
So right now it's for
Particular bot.
this particular bar is for like primary school.
Because, I mean, it looks a little fragile. I don't know. Some kids
primary
could really
school-
take-
Basically, we wanted to do 1 to 5, but I've tested in the market and they find it a little difficult. So we're doing it a little bit upper.
1 to 5 would be very difficult to do something like this,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
You say grade 6 to 8 or 6 to 12?
So we're doing 6 to 10 right now, 10. And
Yeah.
Is there
So-
a market demand for this?
there is a huge demand. Like we've seen a lot of people using Lego Mindstorm kit, but Lego is like very expensive. They sell each kit for $300 to $350.
No, I'm saying in Bangladesh, do you think there's demand? You've only sold 50.
And only wants to sell,
Not a lot.
and only wants to sell 250,
And you
which
want
is
to sell 250.
which
We're
is
talking about,
really.
you know how many students right now in Bangladesh, 160 million people, there are 40 million students registered in the academia.
Most schools have more than
40
250.
billion, yeah, so you be thinking millions, right, to make an impact.
Further, can the schools afford to buy these? I mean, they can barely afford to sometimes
Yeah.
update their textbooks versus buying a robot.
So my son and my nephew goes to one of these after-school programs where they build robots, right? Tech school sort of a thing, and it's interesting. Kids love it, and slightly older kids. There are robotics, transformers, and things. So there is a market for it, but I'm just wondering,
Is it big enough?
is it big enough?
This is definitely big enough. Like
No, the market is, the numbers are there, but are you going after that market?
yes, we're going after that.
With this product, I'm not sure.
No, so right now we are launching it soon because once we understand how they're working, then we will develop more, like a better version of the product with like less price money,
What is
which
the
everybody
biggest
can
challenge you're
afford.
facing right now? Like besides facing us?
So, so right now, like a lot of schools, as I said, they don't understand the product. So the market, as you guys mentioned, that it's not ready, that point of view. So I have to make them understand, doing the workshops like with our people. We have to tell them this is how it's going to work. And another thing is the teachers that we have, like the STEM teachers or science teachers, they still don't understand the technology. So what we are doing is we're recruiting university students who are in the STEM fields, for example, in computer science major or electrical and electronics engineering major, to do these workshops for us, and they're getting experience by doing it.
How much did you say you're asking for?
We're asking for we're offering 5% equity for Taka 50 lakhs.
For 50 lakhs.
Okay.
Okay.
So, anybody?
There's a 10 crore taka valuation
Everyone
for
will,
selling 250 robots.
How quickly can you, I know, I agree with him that that's pretty high, but the question is, how quickly can you bring 1 million these things into Bangladesh? Let's say you got an order tomorrow for 1 million, how quickly could you bring it?
So we have the capacity, like our partners, they have the capacity to produce 50,000 robots per month.
Your partners have it, meaning are they doing it elsewhere? Is this
There is
robot
a-
available?
Yeah. It's
Elsewhere?
these
So-
are very standard.
These are standard forms.
These are standard formats.
So, I mean, what's unique
Yeah.
that are you bringing to the table?
I mean, somebody who has a lot of money could just go to China and bring
Buy-
1 million of
yeah.
them and
And
give it
people
for half the
are.
price.
People are doing it all over.
Yeah.
That's what I was
So
saying.
they
You
sell it for
know?
half the price
Why
and bring in 1
reinvent the
million
wheel?
and get a government deal. How do you fight that?
It's our curriculum there. Like as I mentioned, we're in the STEM education and teaching business here, right? So we provide gamified curriculums based on the programming language, which is also based on Scratch. Scratch is a visual programming language you connect. So there's this institution called MIT, and everybody uses this to teach the fundamentals. So if you know ABC, you can write the words and then sentences.
No, so we get that. We understand you have an online curriculum and we understand you have this, but the two are mutually exclusive, right?
Mutually.
I mean, you could do
Don't
one and
neither,
not the
yeah.
other.
You can I mean, this is just a tool, right?
Yeah.
This is a tool to implement
So,
our...
right. So, let's say you have this, you could also have a water pump, you could also have so you'll have multiple of these things, right?
Yes.
But this is available off the shelf.
This kind of robots are available.
Off the shelf. So, your concentration is not necessarily on the robots and designing robots, but it's on designing the curriculum.
Designing the curriculum, and also, so basically robot is a tool, it complements.
Right.
So we're producing more different kinds of products.
So you were saying that you're in the business of teaching, right?
Teaching and also
Supplementing with robots.
supplementing with using technology.
Like we said, this is a tool, right? So if you're in the business of teaching, you know what your market is. It's the government schools. In Bangladesh,
Absolutely.
it is the government schools,
for sure.
right?
Yes.
So if you get the government schools, you're a winner. If you don't get them,
I have an online learning platform called Upskill, and we do a lot of workshops, and STEM, I think, is a fundamental part of future of education. And from my side, I would love to work with you, because I think we need to start conversation in Bangladesh around STEM, and I think the curriculum, and you need the hardware to actually teach that. So I'm open to partnership, and we can work to, find something that we can work together and benefit both of us.
Sure. That seems like an amazing opportunity for me.
Okay, so that is my offer, to work with you.
awesome.
I'm open to it. This is an amazing opportunity again.
Right, great.
Great.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you very
coming.
much.
Thank you.
All right, so what we're looking at is the future of education, STEM.
Yeah, I agree, but I think that this particular one, there's two plays. There's the government schools, okay, that's where the market is. The other is, what he didn't say is that he's got an ecosystem, right? He has the
Teachers.
tools, the curriculum, he's going into he has the programming, the after-school programs, and there's a lot of follow-on that can be done for keeping a customer stuck within an ecosystem, to have them graduate towards becoming a full coder for whoever's in that, right? So there's the premium market and there's the mass market, and those are the two markets that there are. One is a great cash generator, the other is competitive, but also in the premium category, competitive. That's my take on this business.
Sure. Sonia, you are from technology.
Yeah, so I'm going
What's
to
your
tell you
take?
that my take is a bit different, because I think if I think academia, and I think when you have those smart glasses or the lens that you can see with, we've seen how in technology children are learning just looking at the lens, how a plant fertilization happens, how the human body works.
The AR and the VR.
Yes, so the augmented reality is where you can complement the real education. This is more on a skill set that is extending beyond your academia. And if I was to say, okay, if I'm going to focus on Bangladesh market, I would like people to get a bit more of a touch and feel of what the real things they're learning, as opposed to saying, okay, what does a robot do when I do a command or when I do a fun activity? So it's good, but we're not there yet. I don't think so.
So where should he start from? I mean, if you are in his place, what would you recommend him to do now?
So if I was in his place, I would actually not focus on the 50 devices or the 250 that he's targeting, right? I would build on my online curriculum, and I would try to strengthen, because everybody complains that our national curriculum is not very strong, right? Competing globally. I would lift the base first. I would say, okay, let's make the foundation strong before I morph.
Right.
I mean, if I don't have a strong foundation, I'm going to be very wobbly. So I would redirect my energy and saying, focus on making the foundation strong for STEM, and then you pivot.